Well, my name is Raymond Milian, and the company I'm starting is Live Edge Woodworks. You know, if you can think it, you can dream it, we can build it. And first off, I know everybody's hungry. I know it's almost lunchtime, so I'm gonna try to be kind of brief. No promises though, but I'll try to come out of that. Now, I'd like to start off with a quote by Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is well known for being a basketball player, but he was also well known for his investments off the court. And he said, before I invest in a business, I ask, do you understand the business? Is it a business that you can help in some sort of fashion? Do the entrepreneurs themselves have a culture that you believe is sustainable? Are these leaders people you believe in? And have they created a culture of obsessiveness? Somebody that invested millions of dollars in different endorsement deals, this was his procedure in his mind before he invested in the business. So before I explain to you my business and how it's going to work, I want to explain to you a little bit about me and where I come from and my background. So I come from a small island in the Caribbean called Puerto Rico. And there we're not really giving opportunities like this, right? The education system is very poor. The government closed down schools. And all these opportunities, grants, internships, the fact that I can be here today and present my business to you guys to earn money, start my business is, not even an idea, not even a dream. So to be here is, I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and thank you guys for being here. So now I'll start with the actual business and see how it works. So the problems in the furniture industry. Furniture has become really affordable, and you can find it anywhere online. Amazon, IKEA, you can find it anywhere, and it's really cheap. Problem number one is that they're poor quality and they don't last, right? These tables, they are not going to last you a lifetime. You have to replace them year after year. You have to constantly be worrying about that. Problem number two is that high quality woodworking shops are, for the most part, they're local. And even though they're really high quality, they're not available nationwide. They don't have shipping and all that stuff. Problem number three is just poor communication with the customer. And there's not much custom work for these big companies because everything is already predetermined. It's already a specific size, a specific item. So solutions, how can we solve these problems? How can we address these problems? How can we compete with these companies that offer this cheaper products and more variety? So solution number one is we can use a higher quality wood and higher quality finishing materials to ensure a higher quality product. Solution number two is offer the quality work that a local shop offers. That's what we are. We're really a local shop. But with online shipping and national shipping. Online shopping and national shipping. And solution number three is actively communicate with the customer and always include customization for each product. So for example, let's say you order something on Amazon, right? And you order it and then 5 days later, shipped. You have no idea where it's at, you have there's no communication with you and that supplier. So what we want to do is we want to offer that communication that a local shop offers to you, right? To where right now we're sanding it and tomorrow the legs will be put on it. And then tomorrow, Thursday we're going to seal it, Friday we're going to ship it. So that way you're involved with the whole process, you're involved with the whole design, from the legs, from everything that's decided by you. So you're really building the table, we're just shipping it to you guys. So how did we begin? How did I begin on this journey? Well, in 2018, when I first came to Mount Airy High School as a freshman, I made it out to find my hobbies, find what I like to do. Because I wanted to, when I went into the real world, I wanted to already have it set in stone, what it is I wanted to do. Something that I like to do, not something that just makes me money. So I took woodworking, apart from other classes, and I really liked it. It was really something that I enjoyed. And I thought, how can I make this a business? How can I make money out of this? So then I connected with Ms. Alexander and for internships, and I got some internships with like Laser Edge. And I got to learn a bit about the whole market and the whole industry of woodworking. And then I connected with some lumber suppliers here in Mount Airy, and how they are very skilled at what they do, but they've never been online. So how can I bridge that connection? And then now in 2021, 2022, I'm learning how marketing works, how the online businesses work, and how I can get products like this, what you see in front of you today, online to sell. Because even though you want to be a local shop, you understand that online, so many people can do it at once. Much more than an actual shop can, an actual store can. So timing, what is this good timing? People say because of the pandemic, you shouldn't start a business now. But actually, it's quite the contrary. We should. Reason number one is that online is the new home for businesses everywhere. Now is the perfect time to start. Reason number two, with health scares and safety issues everywhere, There's been studies, and actually 60% of the U.S. population prefers shopping online instead of actually going to stores. And for example, the program Etsy, the application Etsy, has become extremely popular, where we can estimate, hundreds of visits a week on just our products. And reason number 3 is now people are receiving their stimulus checks, and the economy is starting to rise back up, so people are starting to spend more money on goods. So our target market. This is part of our target market. The majority of people that have a say in what goes in the house and furniture is usually going to be your women, right? So they're going to be one of our major people that are going to choose, like this table, because the men, they don't really care too much. Some do, but the women is the one that have the say in the house on that. I'm not from experience, by the way. And also, we have businesses and restaurants. So in front of you, you see that charcuterie board. What if we can make a big one the size of that table for a restaurant to serve, to cut meat, maybe have a cutting block, that type of connection. Maybe bar tops for restaurants or things like that. That's what we're trying to move into, that business to business. Also, part of our target market is also the older generation of people that came from a time where like cars were made of real steel, that woodworking was like this and it wasn't like that, right? Where craftsmanship and the things that were made in America was a pride, right? So these people, they're going to respect that because maybe they are woodworkers themselves, or maybe they knew somebody that was in that industry back in their time. So we're trying to bring the great qualities of back then with the new technology of now, bridging it all now. Now the market size. Currently in the United States alone, there's $769.1 million being spent on woodworking alone. And we're bridging a little bit more than woodworking. We're bridging also into the furniture trade as well. So there's plenty of money available for us to start. Now products, let's get into the fun part. What are we offering, right? We see that the market is well, we see there's opportunity. What are we offering? So first of all, live edge coat racks. In front of you today you have a cedar example. This is cedar, you can pass it around, feel it, please. And the hooks, they can support 75 pounds of weight. So if anybody here has a jacket that weighs more than 75 pounds, and you put it on there, just know it's not under warranty, all right? And so that's our live edge coat racks. The front is sealed with some sealer, and then you sand that and then lacquer on top of it to make sure it finishes well. And these would go for around, so $49.99 would be the retail price. And the cost to produce is very low, $15. And the standard dimensions for that one, that's a 24 by 10 by around like 1.5 inches thick. We're going a bit thicker material now with 2 inches thick. And the shipping time is 1 to 2 weeks. So that would be the coat rack. Anybody have any questions about the coat rack or anything about that product in particular?
How hard is it for you to get cedar?
Cedar is actually it's actually pretty common to get. It's actually lower in cost. Cherry right now is pretty expensive, and walnut as well. But cedar, like you can get it for actually $1 less a board foot than walnut and cherry.
Oh, I didn't know.
So it's actually a pretty good price. And what I like about cedar is it's very easy to work with. It's very soft wood, so your machines, like your blades, they hold up well to it. So it's very good. Any other questions about coat racks in general? Cool, let's move on to our next product. Wall shelves. I didn't bring a wall shelf today for you guys, but it is very similar to the coat rack except horizontally positioned. And it's also made with walnut, cherry, and cedar. Of course, if you want a different type of wood, we can get it. But our standard, species of wood are going to be those three for this product. And this is what it looks like right here. So it's your piece of wood with a bracket with two, that's what they call dowels right here. This right here, it's a dowel. And you cut a hole there, and so when you put the bracket to the wall, and then you just slide that piece in. It makes for a very easy installation. It's very secure. And these brackets, if it's made of metal and welded, then they can actually hold up to 100 pounds. So for a wall shelf, that's pretty good for what you're going to put on there, which is usually pictures and stuff like that. So that's our example of what a wall shelf assembly in the exploded view would look like. Now live edge charcuterie boards. Right here, this is our charcuterie board that we made for a grandmother actually. So her grandchildren, they had just got adopted into their family, right? So this was very important to her, and she wanted to give her daughter a gift for her family, So that's what this is all about here. Here, if I can pass it around to you guys.
And this is.
That right there is cherry. Yes,
Cherry.
sir. Cherry.
Yeah.
And actually, the leather work is actually done by a fellow high schooler here. His name is Caleb Gwynn. So I branched with him, and he does leather work. So now we got that thing going where each time I make a cutting board, I'll call him. He does the leather handles for me.
So a solid piece of cherry like this would cost how much raw?
As in raw, so you're looking at typically cherry's price. Well, I get it at like $4.50 a board foot. So that price right there, you're probably looking at like
That's a big piece.
probably like 25. That's probably $25 in wood, raw wood right there. Right, and that can be flipped to $149.99 as a retail price. So in total cost in that, you have probably around $40, $45 to produce that. That's in raw wood. Absolutely. Any questions about the charcuterie board or anything
You
else?
seal it with mineral oil?
Yes, sir. Mineral oil. Typically 3 coats is enough. What you do is you coat it with oil until it absorbs it all. And since this wood is actually, all this wood that I have here, it goes through a process. It has to be, it goes through a kiln, which is like an oven for wood, which dries it to a certain percentage. The percentage is 6 to 8% is the ideal moisture content. That means that 92 to 94% of the wood can absorb whatever I would like to throw at it, whether it's sealer and lacquer. In the case of cutting boards, it has to be FDA approved mineral oil. So 3 coats is usually enough until it can't take any more. That's when you know it's done. So like at least 90% of the board, has absorbed the mineral oil, so you can use it in your kitchen. And with our products, we're also going to offer a reconditioning, because with butcher block countertops, you have to re-oil them every so often. So we're going to offer a plan where you can send it to us. We can recondition the leather for you with mink oil. And you can recondition the cutting board by lightly sanding it to take off the imperfections and recoating it with some oil. So any questions about cutting boards, coating shelves, and coat racks so far?
How long does it take you to turn a piece of wood into a finished product?
Okay,
Like
so
these?
each one is different. For example, that cedar right there, to cut that piece out and to put the hooks on it, it takes, and to spray it, I'd say it's a combined, I'd say 2 hours. 1 hour to get the wood ready, and then the other hour would be in assembly and spraying time. Now, the thing is, we have a designated day for spraying, which is Thursdays. Thursday is the day that we finish our products. So I'm not cutting that out and spraying it that same day. I'm putting it all together, to spray everything at once, so that cuts my time down. So that's about 2 hours to make that. This right here is more leaning into the 3 hour range, 2 to 3 hour range. So, I have $40 in cost, $3 hours of work, and retail price of $124.99 with no etching, and then with the etching, with the logo on it, it'll be like a $25 upcharge. So $149. Good question. Any other questions about that?
Are there any food restrictions with cutting boards? Does
There
anyone
is.
ever recommend that you shouldn't use certain food like poultry?
No, so since we're using the mineral oil and it's FDA approved, that mineral oil passes to be used as a meat block, to be used to cut salad, vegetables.
Right.
So you can cut anything on it. Of course, if you're gonna switch over from chicken to salad, you have to wash it and make sure that, but that doesn't come to us. It's already sealed and it meets the FDA guidelines for that. Any other questions about charcuterie boards? Cool. The next thing is our coffee table. Right here in front of us, we have 2 examples. This right here is a rustic pecan coffee table. And we wanted to leave the bark on it. I wanted to leave the bark on it so it looks really rustic. And we use the pipes. And this kind of represents a bit like a Mount Airy, right? Because we used to be like one of the textile leaders, right? With all the factories like Spencer's and all that stuff.
And furniture.
So we want to kind of bring all that, the old school, stuff that we're known for as Mount Airy back with just the new technology, of course. So this right here, to make this is about, I would say, 5 hours to make this. And this, in terms of cost, I have about $100 in cost in this piece right here. And this can be turned into $4.99 retail price. So that's what I have there. And that right there is another example of a coffee table. If I can invite them to touch it or feel the coffee table, I would like that. And ask any questions, please.
So when you ship these, is Is assemblage of legs required?
Yes, so everything will be pre-drilled. For example, these legs right here, they take 4 screws. So we're gonna line them up perfectly where we think they can be, right there for example.
Gotcha.
You see that, the undercarriage of that? We pre-drilled it, and then all you have to do is just drill it into place. So what you would need is a drill driver.
Idiot proof.
Should be, I'm hoping so, you know. So we'll have to test that.
That is heavy.
It is heavy.
And what is it?
That right there is Japanese holly. Yeah. And this right here is pecan.
With the burr.
Yeah, with the burl, yes. And this is first step to doing this is you have to apply epoxy resin. What it does it hardens the wood. So on all these pits and all this imperfection, we apply that hardener and then the sealer and lacquer combination.
You need to speak to Hernandez for a wood too.
I know. I just mentioned that tree service. Definitely, I need to speak to your husband about that.
Trees in my house. They can kill it.
Yeah. But that's good. 'Cause
Very nice.
It's going up, then I can price a bit higher too. And right now the wood price is starting to go down a little bit.
There's a lot of people who cut trees in this area.
Yes.
And there's a
And
lot
that's-
of,
There's a lot of wood.
there's a
And that's
lot
what
of
we've been
wood
looking at
that's, the people are developing homes and clearing land, and
Yes.
you really need to hook up with the people who cut the trees to actually bring you the logs.
And through my father, he has a few friends that actually cut trees as well. And I'm looking to branch out with them and see, it'd be really interesting to be able to promote, we bring the wood from your backyard to the inside of your home. So that's what we're looking at. Like the next steps is how we can use the local resources that we have here to to make a business in this. There's definitely a lot of people with knowledge here in my area. The next thing is dining tables. In front of you, Miss Hernandez and Dr. Fitzner, they're sitting right here at the library dining table. This is what we offer.
This is yours?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Very nice,
Very nice.
So this right here
very
is,
sturdy.
oh yeah.
Wow, I was wondering.
And if you see, you can tell that the joints, you see the little squares right there?
The dowels.
Yes, that's like dowel joinery. So what it is that you cut a hole directly between the frame, the leg and the frame right here, and a dowel with glue is inserted, and then it's a really secure joint.
That's all timey. That's
Exactly.
all, no one uses dowel joints anymore.
Exactly.
They just use nails and
Exactly.
glue.
So that's what we were trying to do there. And that was in also with our supplier. Supplier is Lumber Creations. They are the ones that provide us the wood of this, and they have a lot of experience. And I've been helping them with the whole finishing aspect of it, of how to get, like this right here, if you feel it, it's really like, that rustic farmhouse type, raw type of flavor. But if you look here, it's really smooth, right? It looks like you're not feeling the wood. It feels like almost like that plastic on top of it.
So you could do round kitchen tables,
Absolutely.
right?
So that's what we're marketing there.
That's a
So
good.
in terms of cost for this table, you're looking at about $300 in terms of cost of material. This goes a lot in work. This is probably like a nice 1-day type project, a nice 6-7 hour project right here in this table. And then our retail price is gonna go for $8.99. Now you might think that's a lot, but our competitors are actually pricing this table right here at $1,500. And I have this at $4.99, our competitors have it at $8.99. So I'm pricing under because, as you can see, there's a high margin of profit.
Who's your competitor
Well,
that
we'll
you're
get to-
referring to?
That's what we'll get to here in a second right here. So this right here is our multiple revenue streams, right? This right here explains the retail price, the margin of profit, and the production capability from here in the next 5 years. And it looks like a lot of production. You might think, well, how can a small shop do that? Now, if you do the math, that is only you get to put out 3 products a day. Right? And for example, in that we have, 1 hour in cutting, right? This is about 2 hours in cutting. And that over there is about, that comes like that. So you have to just give it like a nice 1 to 2 hours in shaping. So you have, a total of 5 hours in actually cutting the material, and then the rest goes in the spray wood. So it's very doable. We can get 3 parts a day. And right now I'm doing it by myself, but eventually I'm going to bring on, once the demand is more than I can handle, then I'll bring on a second person to help me out. So how do we handle shipping, right? Because this is pretty hard to ship. So this is an example of a company that's how they do their shipping. They have a foam, and then they kind of like shrink wrap it, and then they place it in there so it's nice and tight, nice and sealed, and that goes in the box. So since I don't actually have a shipping department, we're looking at existing companies in Mount Airy that do have shipping departments. And we've been talking to them about if it would be possible for us to be able to ship through them. So it benefits both of us, because I don't have a shipping department, it's very expensive. So I can go through them, and they get money because they already have it, and all I have to do is just go there and run it myself. So it's a bit of more business to business that I'm working on currently with some businesses here in my area. Competition, which you were asking about. So here are some of our direct competitors. Chicago Maker Studio is a company on Etsy that makes products similar to this, and they get thousands and thousands of sales a year. So I looked at these companies like this and I was like, how can I be better, right? How can I improve? For example, the finishes on their tables are much like this right here, which is a one-step finish. So I said, then let me improve my finish so my finish is better. And that's what I'm on right now. So my finish is better, and I want to make sure that I have great customer service. I want to make sure that you feel involved with the project. A touch of Mayberry is, wait, we're on a low battery, it says here. You have a charger for this computer? Yeah, I got you. Alright, cool. A Touch of Mayberry is a local store here in downtown. They do farmhouse tables just like this. And they're actually needing somebody to do more tables for them because they have one person supplying a whole store of furniture. So I talked to their manager, and now I have to talk with their person that makes the tables and see if he'd be interested in working out a deal where I can make some of the furniture for that store as well. So they're all, even though they're my competitors, everybody needs help, right? Nobody gets anywhere alone, right? There's always doors that must be open for everybody. There's always, there's so much money in the market, it's just.
There's no craftsman around.
Yeah, exactly. And also Aaron Gibbons is one of our direct competitors as well. He's in Winston and he does work exactly like this. Now, even though he's my competition, he has a lot of skill that I don't have. So I plan on talking to him and seeing if, for example, he is a very good welder and he makes all his metal legs. So maybe I can talk to him, gain some experience in metalworking. I get to help him out in his shop, and I gain experience. So that's what I'm working on right now. And indirect competition is, IKEA, Ashley Furniture, and another business that does similar stuff to this. But IKEA is my indirect competition because I'm not marketing to the same market as IKEA. IKEA markets to everybody. I'm marketing to a select few that want unique furniture. So advantage number one, what advantages do I have over my competition? Well, every product is fully customizable, right? From the dimensions, the color, right? Because this is pecan, but if you wanted to stain it like walnut, you can stain it like walnut. Leg choice and finishing options. Maybe you like the rustic farmhouse feel. Maybe you don't want this lacquer type finish. So we can give you that rustic farmhouse feel. Maybe you don't want the rustic pipe legs. Maybe you want wooden legs like you've seen here. So those all will be options that can be determined by you. Also, regular communication with our customers. We don't just want to say it's been shipped. We want to make sure that you feel involved with the process. And advantage number three is that we're not just an online store. We're going to be very involved in our community. Because since I've been here, the community has given a lot to me. This program right here is from the community. So for me to give back, then for example, Market Street has a lot of opportunities there. The Autumn Leaves Festival, I have a truck, I have a trailer. If I could get some products in that trailer and go to Autumn Leaves, I can make business there and make some contacts there. And advantage number four is free shipping. All our products come with free shipping. The price is already included with shipping, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to be like, oh, it's an extra $17 to ship or whatever. It's just, if it's $199, it's $199. So competitor approach. So there are many companies with products very similar to ours that get thousands of sales. So we're going to beat them with finish quality, offer full customization, not just preset sizes, and offer great customer service. That's our goal to beat these companies. Now, business or revenue model, how are we going to make our sales? So the majority of our sales are going to go online because that is where, 50 states in the United States can order from us. I'm limiting to myself to just a small county, but I can also be selling to 50 states with millions and millions of people that could visit my products. So that's the majority of our sales. Play plan two is businesses and restaurants. We want to start moving into restaurants and businesses because we can see, when you walk into a restaurant, the first thing that you notice is how it looks, how it smells. If we can take care of the looks, we can take care of the bar tops, we can take care of the tables, and that gives a better image for that restaurant or that business or that establishment. And pay plan number 3, like I said, is community projects, festivals, and even schools. We're working on getting the patent for maybe getting logos on the school on our products. For example, this table. What if you could have the App State logo on here and sell it to Appalachian State University? So that's what we're working on currently to open our options up for next year. So in-depth financials. First right here we have our balance sheet. This is what we think we can make in terms of our assets and our liabilities. So there's a lot of potential assets, right? It looks like a large amount of money, right? And it looks like, well, how can a 17-year-old really make that much money? And I mean, I don't know if I can or cannot, you know. However, this is what Elon Musk said when he was presenting Tesla and SpaceX to investors. They asked him, you're making a 10-year plan in 6 months, you know, how are you going to accomplish that? So I mean, I have no idea, I'll try. And even if I don't get there in 6 months, I'll be a lot farther along the road than somebody that said it's going to take 10 years. So that's my idea, that's my thinking process for this. Any questions about the balance sheet as of right now?
It's very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You're very
Took a lot of work and hopefully
Very positive. Very nice.
Income statement. This goes over our revenue and our expenses. We have, see, in 2023, I plan to bring somebody else to help me because if I want to grow this company into being, you know, what it can be, I can't do it all alone. And it's a lot for one person to handle. It's too much stress. And the goal is not for me to make money. I just want to live like a nice, happy life and like really stress-free. So this is the way I can do it. Not having a tyrant boss or anything like that. More of what I can control, more of my own life.
You need a trusting partner.
Exactly. We're hiring you. You interested? No.
Maybe.
All right. So this is our. Any questions about the income statement? I will move on to our cash flow. This is our cash flow from our operations, and see, we don't have any like debt financing because right now we're not in debt. We're gonna have expenses, but we don't have to make any big purchases because all the big purchases have already been taken care of. I already own a truck, already own a trailer, and my parents actually just put a shop in our house, like a garage. So I'll be able to move my stuff from the basement to the garage now. So I'll be able to really expand on what I've been doing.
Amen.
And any questions about the cash flow?
I think your major situation is going to be your wood. And I think if you really focus on the people that are here in town as the people who work in trees, and
Yes.
you have your connection with the sawmill, because the wood is going up so much,
Yeah.
you have a supply, and obviously you don't need an immense amount of wood right now, but you have choice pieces of wood. That's where your focus
Right.
is going to have to be. And that's a big advantage being here, because you're in woods.
Exactly. And as of right now, I do have one supplier, like I mentioned earlier. It's a company off 89, it's a local company. But there's always room to expand, always room to learn more. So that's what I'm looking into, especially them tree services. And like, where do those trees go after they cut them? Is it wasted or what, you know?
Most of them go to the dump.
Yeah, and we
They
have
do.
to
No
pay
one wants
for
to
it.
bother with them, because I'd asked
Yeah.
them, we cut our trees, and we didn't want to keep them on the property because of the safety risk
Yes.
with children and jumping on the logs, and because these were big trees.
Yeah.
And we had to pay someone to take them away. That was sad. But
Mm.
it's, you know,
So exactly. So if we could maybe connect with that sawmill and connect with these tree companies and be like, I can provide you with so many logs of cherry, you know, and then that can bring my price of board foot down because I'm providing the wood for them. Maybe I keep 50% of it and they keep 50, you know, stuff like that. I need to really expand.
instead of going to the dump, they can go right to the sawmill.
Exactly.
Or if you
And
pick
they
it
can even
up,
get
you
paid
can get
for
it
it.
for
And you'll
free.
save the tree company from dumping fees, because the
Uh-huh.
dumping fee is based on the weight of the truck.
Mhm.
When
Exactly.
they dump those into the earth to decay, they would be saving them a lot of money and doing a great service for you. So
And
it's a
potentially,
win-win.
if it's wood of high value, then they can
Oh,
even
yeah.
get paid for it instead of throwing it out. So that's a very good.
No one wants to bother by selling wood anymore, right?
Mhm.
So any further questions about my financials, the income statement, cash flow, and balance sheet?
It's very helpful.
So now, how can we give back, right? Because the community has given a lot to us. How can we really give back to the community that has helped me start where I am today. So one thing is all of our wood is locally sourced from the Carolinas. All the trees, all the wood is actually from North Carolina and actually South Carolina as well. And solution number 2, we want to help out the community with activities, projects, and festivals. Because we understand that no company is built alone. We have to reach out for help. And we want to see, where can I help others and where can they help me? And solution number 3, 5% of our proceeds will go into reforestation causes because, we're cutting down trees, even though some of them have fallen due to natural causes. We want to make sure that we're contributing to planting trees for the trees that we cut. So, I want to go back to this quote, and I'm going to ask you these questions now. Do you understand my business? Is it a business that you can help me in some sort of fashion? Have I established a culture that you believe is sustainable? Can you believe in what I'm telling you? And have I created a culture of obsessiveness? And as you think in that, and if the answers to those questions are yes, there's only one more thing to do. Would you like to be a part of the journey? And that would take, well, time will tell. So now it's time for questions. I would love to hear any comments on questions that you guys have, please.
So you're doing great job.
Thank you.
Your love of wood, when did it start?
As a freshman, really. I mean,
Through from your preceptors and the courses that you took here?
yeah, through woodworking, and then I took that, and then my uncle was actually a carpenter, so that summer I went to work with him in carpentry. So it was really, like in high school, I set out a goal. I wanted to expose myself to everything and see what I liked. I took Adobe Design, and I thought it was interesting, but definitely not for me. I took engineering, and it was like really complicated, and I was like, I can't do it. And then I took woodworking, and I was like, it seems a bit more manageable. So,
Do you ever think of making cabinets?
that is another. So, cabinets now they're actually more automated. Like
Right.
with a CNC router, you can tell the computer what you want to cut.
Right.
So for me to hand make it, I don't think I'd be as profitable.
Well, to make the frame,
To make the
do
frame,
custom framing, all the doors are made, you just order the door and the color. But it's a skill, which I think you have, is to go to homes and to actually measure and make the boxes.
Exactly.
And that's all the boxes. And then you add this to the decor,
Yeah.
and you can mix and match, and because no one in Mount Airy does that really. There's a
Yeah.
few cabinet makers here, but cabinetry is all automated now, but you still have to be talented to measure
Absolutely.
and to make boxes, but you have the talent already with wood, so that's an option.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is once I can make enough profit off this, because with the machines that I have now, I can make this. It stakes very low. Like to make that, you need 2 machines: a jigsaw, which can cut curves, and a sander. That's literally, at the basics, all you need.
You have a palm sander?
I have like an orbital sander, and then I have like the small sheet ones, and then I have ones that can get to the crevices. Then I have like a grinder with a certain wheel that I can kind of take off the bark, or just move the bark if I want to keep it there, like I did here.
Right.
But since what I'm doing right now is all like hand machines, cabinetry, I would like to get into it, but once I have the machines to do it more automated, and once I have the experience, that's why I'm signing up for starting classes at CNC routing to be able to, in the future, go into that type of field.
Cool. Very good.
Any more questions?
You mentioned possibly helping produce some farmhouse tables for Touch of Mayberry, which
Yes.
is a good idea. And I would strongly encourage you to follow up with Aaron Gibbons. He's fantastic,
Yes.
talented. You can learn a lot from him. Maybe he will need help. He does large scale work.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of his
So,
products.
I think you're talented, you're what is it, obsessed, which I like. I think you and Aaron should definitely
Absolutely.
meet and do something together.
That's what I'm talking to Miss Alexander about. If you don't know her, that's Miss Alexander right over there. And she's the person in the school that connects people. And she has a very cool job. So I've been talking to her about who can I connect with, where, and that's really my next goal as I move into this junior and senior year, to really just connect with the community.
Cool.
Very good.
Anything else?